rumors have been swirling on the campaign trail about a secret deal between the current Republican frontrunner, Mitt Romney, and Congressman Ron Paul. It is speculated this deal would include Paul announcing his support for Romney in exchange for some sort of legislative promise or the selection of Paul's son, Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, as Romney's VP nominee. And with the race as close as it is, Ron Paul's delegates could go a long way towards putting Governor Romney over the top. Yesterday on Fox News Radio, Romney denied that he had entered into talks with Paul's campaign. And here with more on these rumors is Kentucky Senator Rand Paul. Senator, thanks so much for being with us.
Good evening.
Now, Senator, there's been, as you know, a lot of speculation about this. The latest this week, Time magazine had a story where it quoted your father's top campaign aide saying one of the things he would want if he eventually were to go with Romney in that circumstance would possibly be the vice presidency. And when anyone says anything like that, the speculation immediately comes and points right at you. So let me ask, do you have any interest in being Romney's number two, should he be the nominee?
Well, I think what's funny about it is that I think the deal must be so secret that no one's told me about the deal yet. So they're going to have to maybe sometime let me in on this. Yeah, it's so secret I don't know about it. But no, I think that they've been friendly throughout the campaign, and that a lot of this has been more strategy that people haven't figured out. Is that Romney's had a solid block of votes, and there has been everyone competing to be the more conservative or the anti-Romney candidate. So a lot of times you've seen Ron Paul go after Gingrich and after Santorum, but really for strategic reasons more than anything else. I think he does get along with Governor Romney. They've both been married for a long time to the same person. We have 5 kids. They have 5 kids. But we've met in passing. I've never sat down with Governor Romney. I don't think my dad has ever sat down with him. But they are friendly, and I think that's about all it is. But no secret deal unless it's secret to me. It would have to be a secret to my dad, too, because he says there's no deal either.
So a lot of people have remarked, though, during the debates where even people who don't support your dad found him very endearing and instructive at times, but he's been willing to take on the other guys, but not Romney so much. But that's because, in your view, that he's competing with those other candidates for votes more than he is with Governor Romney.
Well, I think so. And also, I was there in 1976 when my dad was one of 4 congressmen to endorse Ronald Reagan. He was the head delegate from Texas in 1976. He is the Reagan conservative. So you have to see that it annoys him a little bit when Santorum says, I'm a Reagan conservative, and yet he supported Arlen Specter, who became the 60th vote for Obamacare. We kind of see that as not being real, or there being a little bit of a disingenuousness to that. And so, Ron Paul is the Reagan conservative, and so we compete for that wing of the party.
Now, can you say there have been no discussions between the two campaigns about any possible deal? Because not having a deal is one thing, but not talking about a deal at all or considering it at all is another.
I haven't been intimately involved in the campaign. I have gone, and campaigned in Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina. I've been different places. I introduced my dad recently in Virginia. But the day-to-day discussions I haven't been involved with. I do know that they do talk. And, like, for example, if they're both on the road and they're both someone's saying, we want to have a debate on X date, and they're on the road campaigning, I think they have gotten together, not them, but their campaigns have talked and said, you know what, we don't feel like doing a debate on March 19th because we're both going to be campaigning. And in that sense, I think there's cooperation. But I think there's also discussion between the Gingrich campaign and the Santorum campaign just on logistics of things. But I think it's overstated, and I think sometimes it's other people looking for excuses for not getting what they want. I think Romney definitely is the front runner, and so the front runner gets attacked and accused of things. But no secret deal. It's also sort of contrary to my dad's nature. I mean, that was one of the comments I did like from Tim Pawlenty. He said, the last person in Washington you would ever imagine to make any kind of deal is Ron Paul. He's really been famous for his uncompromising stand for limited government. He's not really the kind to trade his vote or to trade anything. So Senator, it'd be very unlike him.
Senator, we're almost out of time, so I want to at least give you a chance to give us the headline for the new budget you've just introduced.
Our budget balances in 5 years. It's the only budget that's consistent with the balanced budget amendment. We wanted to prove that you could do it. It's different than most other budgets because you have to eliminate some departments. Like Reagan said, let's get rid of the Department of Education. Ron Paul's the only one offering it. Ours is the only budget offering it. Ours is also the only budget that does a flat tax, 17% across the board, and has entitlement reform. It's where we ought to be as Republicans, and so we've laid it out there as a marker.
Great, Senator. Well, we'll be seeing you in Tampa, I assume, regardless, and it could be very interesting. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks, Rich.
Thanks, Senator.